welcome back to Be My Guest, and I'm still with Assistant Professor Patha Uthit Wannakul and also Kun Sukanya Khanmathong, the designer of City Folk collection. During the last break, we have learned a lot about the background and also the inspiration of doing this collection, which is titled City Folk. Many people might be wondering about the duration of the design and tailor. So does it take a long time?
Actually, if we cut out the experimenting process, it takes around 3 to 4 weeks for the pattern making, sewing, and all that. But this excluded the 1 or 2 weeks of the fabric printing too.
Okay. Talking about the patterns here, so how do you come up with this pattern?
These 3 patterns, I got the inspiration from the weavings of Thai Lu fabric, which Thai Lu is like they are the tribal people who moved from China and now they live in Nan, in mostly in Sikh district in Nan. So I found that the weaving and the techniques are very interesting and very exceptional. So I use it and study the designs and identities, and then I reinterpret it, and then it becomes like this. You can see that, for example, this one, I got the technique from the jok weaving, and another one is from kid weaving, and another one from Lai Nam Lai cloth, which is very famous in Nan. Yeah.
So that means these patterns and design actually come from our traditional wisdom of Thailand and how the villagers weave in the traditional days, and then you bring it and reinterpret it again. Talking about the wisdom here and your interpretation of Nan identity, so how did you perceive it?
I feel like what I perceive about the wisdom from Nan, I thought that this area has richness of cultures, values, and very beautiful natures too. I have visited there when I have to do the thesis, and it's very nice, calm city, and I think because of this reason, maybe that's why the people there can create very great work piece.
I see. Okay, but why Nan province?
Why Nan?
Traditional culture.
Yes.
Okay, it's very interesting for the north of Thailand.
Yes. And besides that, we like Nan. We know many cultures from Chiang Mai and everything, Chiang Rai, but from Nan we haven't heard that much from this province, right? So it is good to make recognize the cultures from this area. And one amazing thing that I have found when I do the research is that when I go for the interview the Vespa travelers, Nan is one of the most visited place that they have to go to. They like to travel there because of the natures, the weather, the cultures, and the road. The road are curvy and very funny to ride on.
Okay, so the geographical area location of Nan is really suitable, and are the preference places and tourist attractions. Okay, for Vespa travelers here. Now, what about the feedbacks from the wearers, from Vespa travelers?
After I launched this collection, even it was just the thesis collection, but I got a very good feedback from the target group. Many people comes to ask me to buy the stuff and all the things that I use in the fashion show. So we can say that we got good feedback back.
Okay, now while you're doing this thesis, so are there any challenges and difficulties along the way, from day one until you finish this piece of art?
Wow. For the challenge and difficulties, it's like it's quite difficult to how to turn the traditional culture values, which I believe to be something not interested and out of date for the new generation, to become something trendy in fashion world, and to make it wearable, to make it for everyone to feel like that they want to wear it in today's fashion. So this is quite difficult for me.
So how did you solve the problem of turning the difficulty into opportunity?
I'm one big thing is I have to thank to my advisor, Dr. Pasha, because she helped me a lot to guide how to make it more modern, not to be too traditional. And yes, so that's why with her advice, I got like the idea of how to solve the problem, to make it in the cool designs that serve the target group need.
Okay, so that has been a challenge, okay, in your project here. Now, talking about the contribution to students, so what are the contribution of this project to you as a student?
Contribution of this project of the student is that they have realized and learned the importance to our previous culture and apply them to the beautiful particular and design to the target group. The students then now have learned the process of thinking and before getting the final design, and they have to make some research experiment and a lot of able to create a reasonable for the design pieces.
So throughout the way they can learn how to do research, they can do the experiments. Because they are important, right, in your research and doing experiments
It's
and
important for the experiment to find the new silhouette or new fabric, new surface.
Okay. So the newness can come from different sources, right, from the design or from the fabric as well.
Yeah, it's like the design sometimes change from what we have drawn in the paper. It becomes something different if we experimented it.
I see.
So we got like, okay, what we see is not enough, so we have to do it in the real, and so we understand.
Okay, so we need to keep, transforming and adapting ourselves. Now, what about the contribution, of what you have designed to society in Thailand?
So for the contribution of society, I think because we have reinterpreted the design, so the villagers or the communities can learn to develop the new patterns to be more modern, and I heard that this can help them to gain more incomes and develop their patterns more and more.
Okay, so they can earn more in order to make a living.
Yes,
Okay.
and or create other pieces of art with the technique that they have now more and more.
Okay, so it's all about the collaboration between the designer.
Because the project aims to help the community and develop their knowledge in traditional fabric pattern to be able to create a new pattern or new technique based on their cultural value, which can then help to the people, to community to get the more business or more income.
Okay, so it's two-way, helping hands, right, between villages and then the designers or institutes like Chulalongkorn University. Now, what about the importance of design? How is it important?
For me, good design takes a very big role in this project because it responds to in practical and creative way in both function and identity. So I think we can make the old things to become new because of the design. So it's the designer job in a way to try to create something trendy from the old sources that we have.
Okay. What about your future plan?
The Division of Fashion and Textile, Faculty of Fine and Applied Art Juฬาplanning support the student to create that design, inspire the student to work by using the cultural value of Thai traditional more and more. So not only that we can conserve the national of cultural value not to be disappear, but also they can help to encourage economic growth of community as well.
Okay. Now, what about your own personal future plans? So, is there
Right.
anything to do and ongoing about this project, or is there any other collection to come up?
Right now, I am doing the collection of the accessories more because I'm interested in the mask and all the helmets and all that. So maybe in this year I will create another collection based on the traditional cultural values too.
I see. Okay, so we are looking forward,
Yes,
to
yeah.
viewing more of your collections and art pieces. And last but not least, any final notes for our viewers?
We hope the idea of project can be the inspiration, the new Thai designer, and create their pieces to use the cultural value that we have. The Thai has a lot of exceptional and interesting traditional value, which we should make them recognize among Thai or foreigner. Yeah.
What about you?
For me, I would like the Thai designer, the Thai new designer nowadays to look back of what we have instead of going to see something out of our country because we have so many precious things in Thailand so that we can use to be like a sources for the idea of creation.
Okay, as we are Thai, so Thai identities
Yeah.
belongs to
Yes.
our cultures,
Yes.
and you have presented, to and through your collections here.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time today. So this is a very precious and also a great interview with you. So I guess our viewers can learn a lot. Okay, ขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you. ขอบคุณ
ค่ะ
ค่ะ
Khun Sukanya and her advisor did not only create ingenuity and newness to the Thai textiles. Her project has contributed greatly to students to learn more about the importance of culture preservation. And the project has also contributed to villages in our province as well, as this has been another source of their income. But for now it's time to say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching us and tuning in. I'm Sarosha Ratanapian. สวัสดีค่ะ